Welcome to the Powerlifting and Power Ballads podcast, where we bring you a weekly dose of powerlifting news, tips, and training advice with a touch of 80s rock ballads. This podcast is presented by Team Roar Powerlifting, your source of the most comprehensive coaching and meet day preparation. Here are your hosts, Josh Rohr and Lara Sturm.
Welcome to episode 107 of the Powerlifting and Power Ballads podcast. I am hosting solo today. Lara's not able to make it, but we are joined by Wesley Toler and Stacie Metcalfe. Welcome to the shit show.
I feel so welcome.
One thing I figured we'd talk about a little bit today, during my leave of absence for having a kid, Wesley, you competed, and Amy and Stacie handled you, correct?
That is correct.
So you guys want to talk about that, just how that went? I know Stacie's been kind of handling lifters with me a little bit here and there. But I believe that was your first solo. Well, no, it's not your, was that your first solo meet without me, or did you do a meet without me before?
So my very first meet was before I had a coach. You're my coach. Okay. So that was when I was going solo. And I was coming back from injury then. So, I mean, I had low expectations for that meet. But this past meet, honestly, Josh, I don't mean this to offend you, but it was a fantastic meet. The handling was awesome. Stacie and Amy both just did a great job and made me really feel at ease when I needed to be and hyped me up when I needed to be. And yeah, honestly, 10 out of 10 when it comes to handling. I really enjoyed myself.
So you went 8 for 9. You hit a PR total, PR bench and PR deadlift. But you missed your opening squat. How did that happen?
Mm-hmm. That's a great question. So I missed it on depth, which doesn't surprise you, having seen my training videos. But yeah, honestly, in the warm-up ring, it was looking great. Like the depth was there. And then when I went for my first step, maybe I got hyped up a little too much or a little too little. I don't know what happened, but I just missed it. So it was a little demoralizing to start, but.
You like how we're talking about all the PRs, like it was a great meet, 10 out of 10. Hey, how about this little thing you screwed up on? Let's talk about that.
It's the failures that I remember most. No, it was nice to get that out of the way early on because it kind of sobered me up a little bit. And then I was able to kind of get my head in the game and kind of roll from there. But yeah, not a great way to start, but it was my next 2 attempts went smoothly. And I think maybe just routinely now, I might just ask for whoever's handling me just to tell me to go down and then shout when I go up. And then that'll mean that, especially in the first attempt when I'm freaking out, I'll have kind of that guide. So
is that what they did on the second and third? Did they give you?
Yeah, I can't actually remember whether Amy did it on my first. I think she maybe didn't. I mean, if she didn't, it's because I didn't ask her to. I don't recall, but yeah, I think definitely the last 2, that was the case.
Yeah. And then Stacie, you handled lifters at kind of, what meet was it? Was it Military Nationals?
Military Nationals, yeah.
Yeah, you were kind of handling, because I was spotting and loading, and so was James. So you were kind of running the show there.
Right.
What's it like handling lifters, being on the other side of it?
Yeah, everybody's different. That's like everybody handles it different, and then you can kind of see in their eyes that they're nervous, and just kind of going along what helps me, what doesn't help me. Just kind of getting excited with them as well. But it's definitely harder handling than it is competing. So. Yeah, it's a lot of, I mean, anytime that I've ever done it, whether it's been by myself or with a bunch of people, it's always been very exhausting, but it's fun. It's fun seeing the other side of it and getting excited with the lifter.
Agreed. Any other thoughts on the meet overall, either of you?
I thought Wesley's a handle, actually, just because he's easy to calm down. You just kind of chit chat with him and kind of get his mind off of everything. And then kind of like you said, when it's ready to go, just yell at him and he gets hyped up and he gets focused and ready. And so I thought it was really easy.
I think the real secret plus of handling me is that I bring Sour Patch Kids. So that you didn't mention that, but I just wanted to drop that. Thank you, Stacie, though. yeah, it's if it's a group of people that I really enjoy being around anyways, and I know that they're lifters and they know it's like to go through a meet performance. I think perfect handling team. I already said that, but
yeah. And from my standpoint, like I'm super pumped to hear that because, it always ends up being a situation at some point where we have a bunch of lifters doing a meet and I can't coach everybody myself. Right. So we got to be able to help coach each other. And I think the more that people get involved on that side of it, the better it ends up being for everybody too. So, so from that standpoint, I appreciate Stacie and Amy doing that because you guys are, well, Amy or Stacie, you've already been on the list, that. But apparently Amy's now on the list too of
on the list. She's on.
Yeah, she's on
the good list. On the good list.
Yeah, of course. Got it.
Yeah.
All right.
So just one more comment there too. So I actually got photographs this time from the meet photographer, and the most fun I had looking at those pictures was watching Amy and Stacie cheering in the background. It was like just to see them get hyped, just like it really kind of warmed my heart. So that's great, especially on that last deadlift attempt.
Yeah,
that's cool. Cool. All right, let's move on to our top 5 TV show intros. We are in round 2 of the tournament. We have some results. So I'll just run down through them real quick. And both of you, as of right now, are still in the tournament. Pending the results here that I'm about to read. But congratulations on I can't even say making it to round 2 because both of you started with the bye week.
Yeah.
I didn't even make it to round 2, but you both started in round 2. So congratulations. That's a big accomplishment. Anyway, that's like going to be in your Instagram bio. Made it to round 2.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll run through real quick. Our first matchup was Eric Corderio against Andrew Cargill. Andrew actually moves on to round 3. Amy Pancake against Wade Johnson. Amy ousted Wade. So Amy moves on. Stacie against Michelle Carlascio. Stacie, congratulations. You're in round 3, 57% to 43. Dawn Dotson moves on 83% to 17% against Cameron Barrilleaux. So sorry, Cam. She beat you pretty bad there. Chris Peterson, this Battle of Nebraska here. Chris Peterson moves on over Bonica Brown. Lara Sturm moves on over Amy Hutchison. Cindi Jaeger moves on over Kenia Calderon, and Wesley Toler moves on over Jo House. Congratulations, you're both in round 3.
All right.
First reactions, Wesley.
It was a close race. I just like to say that I have nothing but respect for my opponent, and let's just see what changes we can make with the leverage we got now.
Perfect. That's exactly the response I was expecting. Stace, your first thoughts.
My first thoughts is woohoo! I love my fans. They're the best. I hope they continue to support me throughout this race. I want 10%. I want to try. I'm looking for the win.
I will be cheering for both of you from the sidelines. So our round 3 matchups actually will look like this. The number 2. So I didn't explain the seeding. I did a while back, but basically everybody that's participated in one of these before, they got the top seed, like that ranked 1 through 10 or however many people competed before. And then everybody else was like 11 through however many were left. And then I just randomly sorted them. So that's how people got their initial rankings. So basically everybody that's left was ranked in the top 8, except for Andrew Cargill. He was ranked number 16, but he just upset number 1 Eric Corderio in round 2. So
heartbreak.
Yeah, the seedings actually mean nothing, but that's just how you gotta have rankings for fun. So anyway, round 3, Amy Pancake will be against Andrew Cargill. Stacie and Wesley. I didn't even realize this. You two are actually against each other next week.
No.
Oh.
Well, I'm not going to vote for you this time, Stacie. It's going to be like 50% each. The only people that vote for us is ourselves.
Yeah. Dawn Dotson against Cindi, and then Chris Peterson will be against Lara Sturm. So this is funny because I put this together right before we got on here, and I just did it all by the seedings. Like the highest seed always competes against the lowest seed each round. So I just did it by the seedings and copied and pasted the names with it. Didn't even look at it. I didn't even realize you two are against each other next week. That's perfect.
It's not perfect.
I mean, for this episode, it is. So, all right. How about this? Each of you give your main argument for why people should vote for you on Saturday.
I'll defer to Stacie.
All right, Stacie, your best argument for why people should vote for you over Wesley.
Oh, so you're, well, Wesley always has the best argument. So, yeah, I don't know, because I've got a good list. Everybody knows my list. You're going to know. I mean, when you look at the list, you're going to automatically know what those songs are. And so it may not have been the best show, may not have been your favorite show, but you're going to know those songs. So I think I have the best list. I have the best fans out there. My better than Wesley's.
Awesome. Hey, I want to do this. I'm going to throw a curveball here. So I'm going to let each of you make your argument, and then I am going to translate what I think that means. So what I think Stacie's saying is it's very clear that her list is better than Wesley's. However, Wesley has more fluff with how he's making arguments and things that makes it appear better than it really is. That's my interpretation of that. Wesley, your argument.
I agree that my defense is verbose. I think that really comes down to individual preference and what people are familiar with and what resonates with them in terms of music. So I think if people like Stacie's list better, they should vote for it. If you like mine better, they should vote for it. If you haven't seen the shows in either of the list, check the theme songs out and see if you like it. And if you like it, vote for it. I definitely put a lot of thought into my reasoning, but that's not on the list, so no one really cares about it at this stage.
So translation, I don't really want to walk into the conflict here. I'm going to sidestep it and basically give the politically correct answer that will resonate with people as a reasonable response to hopefully gain your vote going forward. Thank you.
You're just a warmonger, Josh. You're just like stirring up strife between brothers.
You know, it's what we do. But anyway, so voting is going to be on Saturday for round 3.
I really want free stuff. Okay, vote for mine.
Yeah, it's a $50 gift card from 110%. They got good supplements, apparel, all kinds of good stuff. So definitely vote at PL Ballads Podcast on Instagram on Saturday. All right. Normally Lara is the one that like keeps us moving and on task. So I'm trying to do my best here. We're going to move on to the powerlifting situation. I'm going to let both of you answer this and I'm not going to even chime in. So Stacie, I'm going to ask you first. Here's the situation. You long ago promised your training partner that you would coach them at their first meet. Your training partner surprises you and registers for a meet that happens to fall on the same day as another friend's surprise birthday party that you had planned to attend. What do you do?
This person already registered, like they paid their money?
Yep.
I mean, I guess if I made a promise a long time ago, I'm gonna have to do that one and kind of hope that the birthday party is maybe later in that evening or happens on a different day. But promise. If I did that earlier, then I think I have to honor that. It's gonna be tough though.
Cool. Wesley.
I think I mostly agree. I mean, if unless I made a different promise to attend the birthday party, and then at that point I'd have to decide. If I was hosting the surprise birthday party, that'd also be a different issue. I have to talk with my friend and kind of let them know what the situation is. But I think in general, if you can keep your promises, you should always keep your promises. And if it's a good friend too, I would want to be there for the first meet. So it would be a rewarding experience for both of us, probably, hopefully. Or I could just do a horrible job handling them because I'm not Stacie. So
let's change this. What if it was your mother or grandmother's 75th birthday surprise party?
I would never surprise birthday party for my mom. We don't do surprises in our family. So that would not be a problem.
Well, that's not an answer though. This is like my friend. I was talking about the trolley problem. I'm not sure if you're all familiar with that problem. It's basically like, what if you had to pick between two awful scenarios? Which one would you choose?
Give me an example.
So you're on a trolley, and there is a person at the end of the trolley, or let's say there's 3 people at the end of the trolley. line, but you have the choice to pull a lever and switch the track to instead go and hit one person instead of three. So do you do nothing and have three people be harmed, or do you do something, choose actively to harm another to save others? That's one formulation. There are many options, but then my friend gets around it just by saying that normally you can get your way out of a trolley problem by thinking about it more carefully. So. And in that case, Stacie is that friend in this scenario.
So going back to that specific question, like, so there's no option to like hit the brakes or anything like that. Like you have to choose one or the other.
In this particular formulation, you have to choose.
Is the injury level equal to the 3 versus the 1 for each individual? Or is like, can you, or is it that you injure 3 or kill 1?
Yeah, it's, it really depends on how you set the problem. But let's say for the sake of argument here, we set it up where either 3 people die or 1 person dies.
Yeah, I think you definitely make sure you kill 3 instead of 1.
And then you can make more, I mean, yeah, well, but then you can make it even more difficult. Like you've got like 3 puppies and 2, I don't know, puppies is a bad example. I just don't like to use the example of actual people because it feels wrong.
So
but
either you didn't catch my joke or you just think that I'm a terrible person, Wesley, because you totally ignored that.
Oh, I caught the joke.
Oh, it just wasn't funny.
Well, the thing is though, like you actually like, how do you answer it? I don't know. I don't have a good answer.
I mean, my real answer is like, I would 100% switch it and kill 1 person if that was the only option.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe that makes me a terrible person, but I would do that.
I mean, the best option is one in which you can kill everyone, right? So
right, of course.
That was not.
but literally, if it's like A or B, like you kill 3 or you kill 1, I think you make the choice to save as many lives as you can.
It's the lesser of 2 evils.
But it's not. But I guess maybe the argument people are looking at is like, if you do nothing, technically you didn't kill them.
Right.
But if you actively switch it, then you actually made the decision to kill somebody. So that could, I don't know. I still think you have to like do what you can to minimize death, right?
Right.
If you're in a position, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
There's actually, okay, this is totally sidetracking. There is a famous case, a cannibalism case, that actually people had to think about this, how to judge people based on it. You can cut all this out of the podcast if you want.
Nope. This is the main thing that's going to be entertaining. So go. I want to hear.
Okay.
This.
All right. So here, the story was that there was actually people that were that the ship went down and they were stuck in a boat on the seas and they were faced with basically death. They were starving. One person was injured, and then they made the decision to kill that person. So that they could have something to eat. And then I don't actually remember what ended up happening, but like what ended up happening is their lives were saved by sacrificing another. So that's kind of like a practical example of you do something rather than nothing. In that case, it's for your own benefit, not for the benefit of others. So it's a slightly different scenario. But...
I mean, yes and no, because there's other people on the boat with you that would also benefit, right?
Right. True.
That is a tougher question. Like,
yeah. And I think one way to resolve the quandary is you can always choose to sacrifice yourself if that's an option.
True. Yeah, that's true.
But I've not been in that boat. So
yeah. Whoa.
Not yet.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that was a fun detour. So circling back so if it was changed to, your mother or grandmother's 75th birthday, would you go to the meet like you promised or go to the surprise birthday party?
I would say this: if my friend didn't warn me about the meet, then that was something of negligence on their part. So, we'd have to talk about it. I talk about it with them and explain the situation, and then we hopefully resolve it in an amiable way.
Man, you're really not willing to take a side on anything, are you?
I mean, what if they didn't give me a warning ahead of time? I would just go to my grandma's birthday party and tell them, sorry, I didn't know ahead of time and I've already made plans. Yeah. And tell them that I would love to watch them on the live stream.
Fair. See, that's at least taking a side. All right. I appreciate that.
But hopefully my friend would be understanding. This hypothetical friend.
I mean,
which I have many. I have many friends, but this hypothetical friend. You're not my only friends, okay? I've got other friends.
You're making a strong case. All right. The new lifter tip for the week, and I'll see if you agree or disagree. Eat during the meet. Sometimes adrenaline and nerves squash the appetite and lifters forget to eat. This can have a catastrophic effect on your performance as the meet goes on and your body begins running on empty. Wesley, agree or disagree?
Okay, so I do agree, but I have a very sensitive stomach, and so I have to be very careful how I time the food I take and what I eat. So for me, if I'm gonna, throw up and lose my brace, then I just want to think very carefully about what I'm eating.
Stace.
So in coaching Wesley at his last meet, that he pulled such a big PR on his last deadlift, I did encourage him to have some food, and he brought some peanut butter crackers that he did not want to eat, but that I did encourage him to eat because he would have plenty of time for it to digest and not hurt his stomach. And I just want to make a note that he did pull a big PR after that food. And I think eating during the meet is very important. I think you also have to work on that. I mean, it's always been said not to, try something for your very first time, but you also need to work on the timing, and you need to work on what works for you. Some people like the whole chicken and rice. Some people just like for me, I just like a roll. But I do like a lot of caffeine. I think you, just like everything else, you have to practice it in the gym before the meet day.
Are you trying to take my job, Stacie?
Absolutely.
That was a very good answer.
Can I just provide some comment? There's two morals to the story. The first moral is always listen to Stacie. And the second moral is that peanut butter crackers are actually anabolic. Just for the noobs at home, you need to know that about peanut butter crackers.
Peanut butter crackers. Yeah. So a lot of what you were saying, Stacie, I agree. Like they're in general, yeah, you need to eat, but these are very arbitrary statements. So like we don't specify in this new lifter tip, like only eat certain foods or only, because it is very individual. But yeah, the point you made about not trying something new on meet day, 100% agree there. And different things work different for different people. So, I think that's, yeah, you guys are exactly on point there. So I like it. That's all I have for the agenda. Is there anything like any other, what is it? Caboose story? What's it called? Train story? What's it called?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The
like a bookend?
No, you said you got to choose to pull the lever. Train?
Oh, trolley problem.
Trolley problem. Do you have any more trolley problems? I would like to do one more. Those are fun.
Oh, I don't think I do. Moral dilemmas are common. We have to tread through life carefully. I don't know what to say. It's more like my word of wisdom to close this out.
Well, man, I'm kind of disappointed there. You got me all excited about those. I'm like, oh, give me another one.
Oh, what's your most fun crazy lifting story?
Mine?
Yeah, because you are our fearless leader, and
I have a few. I'm trying to think which ones I can talk about. It was in Nebraska. I can't remember what meet it was, but anyway, a bunch of us decided to go out afterwards, and one of our friends had a little like hatchback tiny car that was a 4-seater. We fit, I think, 8 power lifters in that thing, and 3 of them were 275 or heavier.
Wow.
And went out. I don't even know where we went, but I remember it was very uncomfortable, but that was fun. I'm trying to keep like semi. So another story. That one's kind of boring. I'll give you something. So the first time I actually got drunk was in South Africa, 2004 at the World Championships. And everybody on the team basically found out that I didn't drink. So they made it their goal to get me blitzed after I got done lifting. So
okay, that's good. Otherwise that would just be me.
Yeah, right. So they introduced me to like Southern Comfort. So I had a couple SoCo and Cokes. I think I had a couple, like, remember those like Bacardi Silver Raz drinks that like college girls drank, and that's the only people that drank them. Well, I like those. So anyway, I had like 5 drinks and was like completely blitzed. And there's a picture of there's a picture of me face down on the bed, like later that night that one of the lifters took, and they put their collegiate team's logo on it and said it was LSU. It said LSU powerlifting, we build champions, and it's just a picture of me face down drunk on a bed.
Oh.
But it was a great time.
Did you have how much time did you have before you had to fly back? It sounds like an awful time.
Well, I want to say it was like, because you stay for the whole meet, and I was one of the lighter weights, and I think it was like a 5-day meet, maybe something like that, 6 maybe. So I lifted like day 2, so I had the rest of the time to, one, coach, but I was also like able to just kind of hang out and have some fun. So we did get to go on a safari and stuff when we were in South Africa. That was kind of cool. That actually happened before we lifted. We flew out as a team early and got to go see some stuff. So that was cool. Nobody got eaten. That was good.
Nice. Did you do any feats of strength with elephants and other large savanna animals?
No,
that's disappointing.
Well, short of like carrying them. No, I threw a couple on my shoulders and like did some lunges.
That's what I was picturing.
Yeah. I mean, that's just, standard stuff. All right. Well, I think we'll wrap it up. We're hit about roughly half hour. That's usually where we try to keep it. But any closing thoughts from either of you about anything? Trolley's story would be great if you had time to come up with one, but other than that.
Okay, so real quick, do we have a motto yet or a catchphrase for this podcast? I was thinking like wrap it up by saying something like power on, or I guess that's all that comes to mind. That's all I got. I'm sorry, Josh.
Well, all right. Well, we're gonna anyway. All right. Serious now. Thank you guys both for being on. Appreciate it, and good luck this weekend as you guys go head to head in the tournament for the best list of top 5 TV show intros. It'll be interesting. I don't know who I'm going to vote for yet. I'm going to have to go listen to the songs again. Voting is Saturday at PL Ballads Podcast on Instagram. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, future topics of discussion, you can shoot us an email at plballadspodcast@gmail.com. Other than that, we'll catch you guys next week. Thanks again for being on, Stacie and Wesley. Later.
Power on. You can cut that out.
Nope.
Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed today's episode of the Powerlifting and Power Ballads podcast, please remember to subscribe and share it with your friends.